I want to bring in one more friend of yours.
Okay.
Huh? So surprise.
Who is it?
Now see him.
Hi Dave, I hope you're enjoying your conversation with Madhuker on MadCoffee. Just wanted to give a couple of messages on this show. One, I don't know how many people know this, but you make amazing dosas. I still remember the dosas we used to have at your Anupam apartments many years back. And we used to really look forward to those dosas. So while you may be known for all your donuts and your pizzas, but I guess you are best at the dosas, and I still sort of remember the taste of those dosas. We really used to enjoy that. And the second funny instance I do remember is when one of your cars got stolen, and and then you found the car at the New Delhi airport, parked in the airport parking, and as luck would have it, you were near around that parking, and you just saw your car parked there. I found that so funny, and I guess we did have dinner to celebrate your coming back of the stolen car. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you'll have a great time and you'll enjoy your conversation with Madhukar. Have fun. Take care. Cheers.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, Mohit was, I think, part of the inner core. We went to B school together.
Okay,
We've
okay.
done a lot of things together. Now he's moved to Canada.
Yeah, he's in
We
Canada.
miss him a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great to hear old friends talk about you.
Right.
It's like the feeling that comes to my mind, the dialogue that comes to my mind is, "Ab rulayega kya
So yeah, that's so good. I know. As far as you are concerned, what is the most important thing in your life? Friendship, colleagues, and I'm sure everybody. But what is that comes on top?
I think for all of us,
All of us.
I think not just for me, I know for you as well. I think the most important thing is my family.
Yeah.
They come first. That is the most important role for me, and I think whatever I am or whatever is because of the love and support that my wife has given me in all these years.
Yeah.
So I think, and my two children have given me all the motivation that I needed.
Right.
So they come first for me. They are the most important, and that's the most important role for me as well.
Yes, certainly. I mean, that is a support system which we cannot live
Without
without.
Yeah.
So let's see what your support system says.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Surprise! Hi, Dave. Just wanted to tell you I love you so much.
Don't be stoned.
You're the most
React.
fabulous person I ever met in all my life.
Oh my
And
God. When did you do
I
all
can
this?
say in a blink that it's thanks to you that I'm such a happy girl. My freedom, my need to discover myself, do whatever I want, my inspiration, it's all you. And you know that. We'll be best friends forever.
Now I have to say that dialogue. Rulayega kya pagle? This is too much. This is too much, Madhukar.
Superb, yeah, superb.
Thank you.
And Ganga is a great, friend you have, a
Yep.
wife and family.
Yeah,
and everything.
we were in high school together.
Acha.
Yes, we were in high school together,
okay.
and we've been together, I think, forever. And
So you have to cover your emotions with the chest. Yeah, please.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, amazing. It's been amazing. We've been together. We've been married for 17 years, but we've been together for 27 years now.
Oh my God.
So it's a really long time, and I'm not that old.
Yeah, of course you are not.
Yeah, so since we were kids, we've been together. So
Great.
it's amazing.
You have a say in the creative process.
Yes.
Through no matter what product you were handling, but you had this not only say, of course you have a say, but your interest, it shows as a photographer or as a filmmaker, everybody feels that Dev has a valid input. So how does it come, and how do you get inspired, and where does this come from?
you are a bit wary of the creative people as a client.
Okay.
One, because you don't know their skill very well. Okay. Two, sometimes they are very temperamental. Okay. So they don't, if you give feedback, yaar, aapka photo acha nahi hai, they can get very offended.
Yeah.
Okay. कि बताओ इसमें क्या अच्छा नहीं है. Yeah, if somebody presents you a script and you say I didn't like it. Okay. They will say, tell me, what you didn't like. So I realized very early in my career that if you have to get the best out of creative people, first thing you have to do is earn their respect.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't earn the respect of creative people, you're not going to be able to get their output.
Yeah.
And the point is, I'm paying you for a good output, like a good picture.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm paying you for a good script if you're a copywriter.
Right.
Okay. What is the point of not being part of the process that helps you give your best? Because finally, and a lot of people, I think, they don't acknowledge this so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very early in my career, I decided that I'm not a creative person, but I have to be a person who manages creative processes very well.
Yeah.
I realize this is my role. As a business person,
Correct.
I can't delegate that fully to creative people.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can't delegate that fully to client servicing and say, boss, you get me the output.
Right.
Because then, where's my partnership? Where am
Correct.
I bringing my input into it?
Yes.
So I think this is how I saw my role, that I have to be a person who manages creative processes very well and gets the best out of creative people.
Yeah.
Now, to get the best out of creative people, you must understand their craft a little bit.
Correct. Yes.
You must also understand people, okay, and make sure that they feel treated well, but you must understand their craft a little bit. So you must upgrade your skills a little bit. You must learn a little from them.
Correct.
So that you can help them.
Yep.
So that is a secret, Madhuker.
Yes.
Whether it is an industrial designer who's designing a door of a refrigerator, whether it's a photographer who is shooting a product or a model or a human, whether it is a DOP who is shooting a very interesting product, whether it's a food stylist who's decorating something, whether it's copywriter who's working on your next big script.
Yeah.
Okay, all of these people are so critical
Correct.
to the end process.
The process. Yes.
And their motivation and their full 100% involvement is so important.
Yeah.
I think clients must acknowledge that and they must rise, I think, a little bit.
Right.
And then help those people deliver their best.
Totally. And you being in such a senior position, Dev, but the best beauty about it, I mean, मैं सामने बोल रहा हूँ, you are quite approachable. At least, if I have something to say, I can say to you. Other people are like little rigid, but at your level, you are still approachable to the creative people. That's when they feel that you are like us. We are like together working.
Absolutely.
On
I think the reason is that I'm paying you for an output which is going to help me and my company.
Correct.
Right. So I have to do whatever it takes. If it means I have to be approachable, I have to be approachable. If it means I must bring my ideas into it, I must do that. At the same time, if you don't like something, you should reject it and not buy it. But you should, I think you should give a good shot.
Correct.
And because as you said, it's a team.
Yeah, it is a team.
It's a partnership and the client is an important part of that partnership.
Yes.
He's not a buyer of the solution.
Yeah.
Okay, because eventually sometimes he won't have an option. He'll have to buy whatever is the end product left.
That is a sad situation, but
sometimes it happens. I think instead of thinking of oneself as the buyer of the solution, I think we can
be part of the solution.
Part of the solution and the convener of the solution.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
That's why the leader that you are, Dev. Great. So we would like to know a little bit, a peek in your career.
God has been very kind,
Yeah.
and there haven't really been any low points as such. And whatever they have been, I think they have been produced by my own mind. And you feel that, okay, you're low, but next day it becomes okay. But the external environment has not changed, right? Which means that...
So it is your perspective then?
Yes, it is your own perspective that this is a low, right? So when I was in that low point, if you had asked me, I would have said, yeah, I'm in a low point and, all this is going on in my life.
Yeah.
But today when I see it, I don't feel that.
Yeah, when you look back.
When I look back, I don't feel that it was a low point at all.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a learning kind of thing,
of course. It's a big learning, yeah. It's a big learning.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody who is, who has not seen too many failures and, who has been sort of having this run, when something goes down, they must be, I think my learning is that you have to just be aware that you are producing that sorrow and that feeling that it is low for me.
Right,
Actually, nothing has changed.
Yeah, right.
So I think that is a big learning for me as far as low points are concerned, and I don't even want to talk about them, because my own mind produced something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so nothing, no
Right.
low point,
Great.
all high points. As far as high points are concerned, I think many. But I think for me, Khushio Ki home delivery was a big thing.
Yeah,
you
the
know.
Domino's.
Domino's,
thing.
giving
Yeah.
that whole emotional
Yeah.
spin to otherwise a very functional sort of
Right.
offering.
Yeah.
I think that was very interesting. What it did to the brand and the business, I think,
Yeah,
was also
it connected the consumers
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah,
They-
I think that was a big, and it sustained for many years.
Yes.
Coming to Compass
Right.
is a big high point. Something that I take a lot of pride are to see the people that one has worked with and where they have reached. Some of them have become COOs of countries outside India. Many of them are in very good roles that when they started with me, I could not have imagined that
They will.
yeah. I of course could have imagined, but I'm
course.
still pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think perhaps that for me is one of the biggest high points,
Superb. Yeah.
to see
So nice.
people achieving their potential, and even if one had played a small part in that,
Yeah.
one feels very proud of that.
That's why people love you as a big good boss. I mean, they just love you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Seriously,
I hope so.
because you get the happiness in others' success.
Yeah, I
That-
also
that's
get,
the beauty of what
I get
you're
happiness, and I also feel very
proud.
Proud.
Yeah.
I feel very proud, and I feel that it wasn't just for me. That because when you get into when you push somebody, okay, when you push them hard, sometimes you push them to a break point over years of time. There's a little bit of guilt in you
Correct.
that you did it for your own success also, right?
Correct.
Right. And then when you see that no, it was not just for you.
Yeah.
Pushing them through that grind also made them.
Yes.
And also they were able to become somebody that they were also surprised to become.
Seriously.
So that feels very good.
Yeah, because you see the potential in them. That obviously, as a person, I may not see my potential, but as a boss, as a leader, you see certain things. No, this guy can do better.
Yeah,
You can.
push. Yeah, I like to push people.
Yeah.
I like to push people also because even if I don't see the potential in them, I like to push them because we need to set a pace.
Yeah. Correct.
We need to set a pace. I want to get certain things done.
Right.
So one is with potential.
Yeah.
Then you push the guy a little bit more.
Of course. Yeah.
But even if the guy doesn't have potential, you still push him.
Right. Right.
And when they surprise you, and when they, are able to punch, above their weight class,
Correct.
that's a great feeling. When
That's
you
a great
feel-
high, yeah?
That's a great high.
Yeah.
That's a great high.
How do you bring creativity in running the organization?
Yeah. I think personally, I'm not a very creative person. Myself, like, I don't think I can produce creative outputs myself. Okay, what I mean by that is,
You don't
I
paint.
can't write very well. As in, I can't write great copy. Okay, I can't paint very well. I can't take good pictures.
Yeah,
Okay,
acha.
neither can I design something very well. Neither can I do food styling. Nor can I decorate my home. So I think I can't produce any creative output.
So does Steve Jobs, because he was not best at
please,
everything.
please.
But the
No,
great
but-
leader can bring the best product on table.
I think my role, the way I look at it is that I have to be able to manage creative processes and inspire creative people to give their best. It doesn't mean I have to be creative.
Correct.
I have to understand
Yeah.
what it takes. Okay, I have to respect what it takes. I have to understand the people and what drives them and what what makes them feel like they should give their best.
Right.
I think that's my role. My role is not to be the creative guy.
Creating that beautiful environment
Yes.
for people to perform at their best
Yes,
is
yes.
what. So
Yes.
that's the amazing.
That's what
part.
I think.
Yeah.
That's what my contribution is.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't mean that I would love to be more creative. Don't get me wrong, because it's so sexy and glamorous to be creative, right? But I acknowledge that that's not my role.
But
And
you
I'm
know
okay with
what?
that.
As a third person, if you ask me, you are a creative person, in your own right, there, because if at all everybody would have handled situations the way you had, there would have been some other person, or there would have been more people there, reached the destination. I think the way you look at things, the way you handle, that is also creative way of handling.
Yeah, I think. So let's talk a bit more about what this ecosystem for creativity is, or
Right.
what it takes to be somebody who manages creative process as
Right,
well.
right.
I think it requires a mindset of being open to possibilities and not having a idea of what the end solution is going to be.
Right.
If we become very fixated, or if we become scared about being surprised, okay, then we are not going to surprise ourselves.
Correct.
So one of the things that I look for in a solution, whether it's a product or an idea, is that it should seem a little bit wrong. It should seem a little bit incorrect.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes, they say, na, NG, a not good shot. Sometimes the not good shot is the better one.
Yeah.
Because it's accidentally captured something
Correct.
which hasn't been done before.
Right. So,
So I
which
think-
which you haven't planned.
Which you haven't planned, which you haven't thought of.
Yeah.
If it is surprising you,
Yeah.
okay, it will surprise the consumer also. Is that surprise a positive surprise or a negative surprise? And sometimes we get a little bit fixated about the end result, that ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. वो ऐसा ही होना चाहिए में boring हो जाता है.
Boring हो जाता है. हाँ, सही बात.
Okay, and therefore creative people also feel इसमें क्या रखा है.
हाँ, so that's quite obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious. So I think just to have a mindset like that, कि अरे इसमें नया क्या है, and therefore you push and you're open to it. I think that is important.
Yeah, great. Actually, we are in a different era, that is the digital era. So how does it affect the food industry you are in?
Yeah, I think it has completely revolutionized it, Madhukar. I have seen it in the last decade or so. From being a almost insignificant part of it
Yeah,
to
correct.
today. I think if you look at food, for example, okay, without online ordering and without
yeah.
technology,
Yeah.
there is absolutely no way of conceptualizing a food brand today.
सही बात है.
What it has done mainly is that it has democratized food. So, if you are sitting in one corner and making the world's best kebabs, okay, very few people would have known you 10 years back.
Correct. In
right?
that vicinity.
In that vicinity, few people
Yeah.
would have known you.
Yeah.
But today, you can have one or two great places which can become cult. Simply because of democratization that technology does and brings everybody to the same platform.
Right.
You might have 1,000 stores or you might have one store.
Yeah.
You can still compete at some level.
Yeah.
Now you're not competing for volume, you're competing for intellect.
Correct. Correct.
So I think that's the big change.
Superb. Yeah.
And it gives me a lot of happiness because it allows one individual, okay, with a great idea to stand up and produce something differentiated and great. Okay?
Right.
And if he does it properly,
Yeah.
if he has something special, technology and internet and e-commerce will make sure that everyone knows about it.
Superb. Yeah, that is
So-
quite a revolution.
Yeah. Earlier there was a big entry barrier.
है ना? Yeah.
If you open a restaurant, it's very difficult to make it work before. But today it's not like that. Today, if you have something special in you, okay, the environment provides a way for you to become great also.
Right. So it's a great positive
Absolutely.
for today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, anything that liberates people's full potential has to be a positive thing.
Yes.
And anything that says, कि बड़ा ही बड़ा रहेगा और छोटा छोटा रहेगा
नहीं.
is not a good thing in the world.
Correct. What comes to your mind when I say donuts?
Indulgence,
Okay. Creativity.
surprise,
Food.
nutrition,
Yeah. Good. Coffee.
conversation,
Yes, superb. Mad coffee.
mad conversation.
Good, good. What is madness to you?
Unpredictability, doing things that others don't expect you to do,
Right.
breaking the norm, exciting.
Yeah.
I think the whole surprising part of the world comes from people who are basically mad.
Yeah.
If you're not mad, you can't produce anything new, I think.
Like, yes.
Little bit mad,
Yes.
but too much madness is also not good. I think thoda sa is okay.
Thoda sa is okay.
Thoda
yeah?
sa is okay.
Okay. Friends.
Bonding, relaxation, enjoyment, de-stress.
Yeah. What is competition?
I think mostly not very relevant. But if there is somebody in competition who is really inspiring, who are doing some things which are really worth learning from, I think a source of learning.
Super.
But mostly I think it's better to focus on the consumer rather than the competition. Because they end up doing things which were right at a certain time. We need to find what's right for today.
Correct.
And the best ideas don't necessarily come from competition, they come from consumer and your own people. But it's not always the case. Sometimes there could be a very inspiring competitor from whom we can learn a lot.
Right. There are some cards in it. Okay. I want you to draw 3 cards out of it.
Okay.
And let's see what those questions will be.
Okay. These are questions.
Yeah, questions.
Okay.
Start with this. Who is the boss at home?
So, I think you expect me to say my wife,
Acha.
but that's not the correct answer.
Acha.
I have an 8-year-old daughter, okay, who controls everything. She decides everything, and she is the absolute boss at home. Even my older daughter, who is 13,
She's
even for her, the 8-year-old is really the boss. So we are all there to, her name is Adya, and the older one's name is Aditi.
Right.
But it's all about Adya being the boss at home. We call her the nani.
Acha.
She's the nani of the 3 of us.
Okay, great. So, which famous personality do you fancy and why?
I really like Deepika Padukone.
Okay.
Yeah, I find her very interesting.
Right.
And Gul Panag.
Yeah.
She rides a motorcycle.
Yeah, I like
She's
her.
very interesting.
Yeah, very tomboyish.
Well, yeah, she's deeper than that, I think. She stands for causes, and she rides a bike, and she's also very, pretty, I guess.
She is. I think we get attracted to women with their attitude
and power.
Yeah, I think I think we have something common. The most daring thing you have ever done?
Many are, the really daring ones are not right for the family show. And also you don't want to have, things on record. I think most of, I'm not a very daring guy now. मैं थोड़ा डर जाता हूँ. I guess it's the age, but when I was younger,
I think when you're more responsible for many, you have to be.
when I ride the bike also, I don't go beyond a certain speed. I've set a certain speed limit.
I think that's responsibility.
Yeah. So less and less daring is becoming, I think, less and less. But if I think about daring on the work side, okay, that's where, I think you talked about this madness, creativity, surprise. That's where I think one has done some daring stuff. You have to be mad, you have to be daring, you have to create stuff which is very interesting, but you have to make sure to check whether people actually find it interesting and surprising or not.
Right.
If they find it irrelevant and stupid, then it won't work, right?
Correct. If you have to give one advice to the aspirants and the young,
I think 2 things I want to say. One is that there should be no formula. If you go by a formula and it doesn't work out, then you feel like you're failed in life.
Right.
You feel like there's a disappointment in life.
Yes.
But if you go without a formula, if you go with, following your natural instinct, what you're really good at, and if you enjoy it, and if the world needs it, if these 3 things come together, then there's a very good chance that you will find it satisfying and worth pursuing.
Right.
And I repeat again, the 3 things are, you should really enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
Okay. You should be good at it also.
Yeah, of course, that's important.
If you enjoy it, but you suck at it, then it's probably just best left as a hobby.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You can be terrible at photography.
Right.
Okay, you can really enjoy it.
Yeah.
ठीक है, जाके अपना birds का photo ले लो.
बस.
खुश रहो. But if both these things happen together,
right,
and the world should need it.
Yeah.
You should be smart enough to realize that does the world require that solution or not.
Correct.
So I think if broadly, I would say if these 3 things are getting ticked off, then we are in a good place. इससे ज़्यादा formula करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Don't complicate it. A combination of these 3 things can produce any outcome.
Right.
Let's just be open to that.
Yeah.
Let's just embrace it when it comes, and live and enjoy it to the fullest extent possible.
Superb.
And we'll be okay.
Superb. Great, Dev. We had a great, wonderful session, and It's quite enriching to sit with you and go back in times and talk and the things you said. Thank you very much, Dev, for coming on Mad Coffee.
Thanks, Madhukar. Thanks for having me.
So
Thanks.
great. See you more often.
Look forward.
Yeah, thank you.